She make it clap, clap, clap. She make it clap, clap, clap.
The same curve. I always run over that. Ah! She's that respectable girl. He's got it on. He's got the dong. He's got the dong. He's got it on. Dong.
Wow.
Dong.
Wow.
So the purpose of this video today is going to be talking about traveling as an obese person, being overweight, you know, the reception from public. I'm not sure how it's, you know, overweight people are treated in different countries, to the actual logistics of traveling, like the physical part, how it's hard, mobility wise, or plane traveling and stuff like that. Will you fit in the seats, and little fears, you know, fears that overweight people tend to have when it comes to traveling. Now, I will say, I've been saying for, you know, months, I want to get ready for the trip. I want to lose some weight for the trip, because as it turns out, I've been struggling a lot, and I haven't been able to meet my goal. And, but I'm still traveling. You know, we have the tickets from a long time ago, the hotel booked from a long time ago. And, I still had a lot of fun when I went to Thailand. So, obviously losing the weight would have been ideal for me. Maybe I can, you know, lose some weight while I'm there, continue to try, we'll see. Every day is a fight, a struggle for me, and so yeah, but that's a topic for another time. I've flown from Canada to Kuwait, to the Middle East, 13-hour flight, 14 hours in the plane, many times. And most of the time I have to sit beside somebody, and I think it just depends on your body type, your body shape, more than how much you weigh. Like, I'm an apple shape, and, you know, from the front, I still look big, but I don't look as big. I'm not as big from this way as I am sideways. So if you are pear-shaped, you carry most of your weight in your hips, you're going to have a harder time, depending on your size, with the airplane seats that are very narrow, as opposed to somebody who carries most of their weight in the abdomen. You will probably need a seatbelt extender, but you can actually order one online. Just Google search seatbelt extender for the either a universal one or a particular airline you're looking for. They do sell them on Amazon for pretty cheap. Now, I don't mind asking. That's if you're not okay with asking for a seatbelt extender. I don't mind asking for a seatbelt extender. I get on the plane, they direct me to my seat. There's usually a flight attendant that is in the aisles, so I just ask them, you know, may I have a seatbelt extender? You can even bring them to the back, ask to talk to them privately and ask for one. And it's usually, they're very easy to use. You don't have to worry about that. They just clip into the seatbelt. Depending on the airline, you can also, for an additional fee, small additional fee, book an extra seat beside you. Another thing is, I love the window seat, but the aisle seat actually gives you more room, because you can kind of, whenever they're not doing dinner service, or you'll get knocked out by a cart, but you can kind of put your legs out a bit into the aisleway. You can spill out a bit into the aisleway is what I'm looking to say. As for the mobility part, because, you know, airports are hard to maneuver, you know, even for a fit person, they're exhausting if you know, have to be running around when you're tired and traveling all day. So I have a lot of health issues, and I do have mobility issues because of my weight. Somehow in travel day, I'm able to just like suck it up, but it is hard. It's harder for sure. It's more difficult. I get winded more easily. My lower back starts hurting. You know, just those kind of things. If the airport has a service where you can request, like for certain people, you know, you can request a wheelchair, sometimes I approach these carts that are driving around and just like beg them for a ride to my gate, and they usually do oblige, except when I went to Germany, they kind of just like said no. So, but here in the Middle East, they always have the complimentary service. Even in the Montreal airport, they do have a little train station you can wait at, and someone will take you to your gate if you're disabled, you have mobility issues, or you're elderly. So feel free to use those. I also find some seating somewhere. So I take some walks, and then I take some breaks. So taking breaks are very, very important. Staying hydrated, I always have water on me. Actually, right now talking, I'm pretty thirsty. So that's what I do. So that's how I treat my mobility issues. Even when I was in Thailand, sometimes I didn't have a hard time walking around, and I could walk around for like, you know, sometimes an hour, maybe 2 hours, even without sitting down, but that was like just walking around looking at things, not like vigorous walking. So taking breaks is very important. Know your limits with your mobility to make it more enjoyable for you. Another thing I find, I don't know if like all obese people have this problem, but I'm always hot and I'm always sweaty. So I make sure to have I don't have it around here with me, but a personal fan, and make sure it's charged. Make sure your personal fan is with you at all times, especially in hotter countries. It's a lifesaver, especially walking around airports when you're, doing more activity and you're sweaty. So what I do is I usually choose flights with a longer transit time if I have to take if there's a stop in between, basically, if I have to take 2 flights, there's 2 legs. Because I know that an hour is not going to be enough time to rush for me. So to avoid that stress, I'd rather have a longer transit time than have to rush and overdo it for myself. So another thing that I do is I use transportation. So I make sure that we go as close to the place as possible, and don't try to act like a thinner, more in shape person and do what they do. Just know what you need to do for you and do it. Like for me, I couldn't I don't think I could fathom taking public transportation, walking for a bit, getting on another metro, walking for a bit. Like I have anxiety issues and I also have mobility issues, so for me that just wasn't ideal. So I just took I took the taxis, the Grabs, the Bolts, excuse me, and just have them drop you off right in front of the place. So yeah, you can save a few bucks, but for me it's just wasn't feasible. So yeah, we put out the extra money for that. The transportation was important. So even if you have to balance something else, like if you have less shopping money to spend more on transportation, if it makes your trip more enjoyable that way, then you do that. It's kind of like just checks and balances kind of deal. So yeah. Anyways, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. So today I have some Subway. They have a deal where you get a side, a drink, and a 4-inch sub, which I've never had, but I decided to have this and pair it with some bonus noodles.
Tonight's Tuesday, we're gonna carbo load. 20-20-60 ratio.
I think a spicy BMT. And let me see this spicy BMT. Oh, it's like a 6-inch. Okay, all they put on it is like pepperoni with nothing on it. That's so weird. No cheese, nothing. I'll be right back. Okay, I added my own toppings, so. But all I had was ketchup, mustard, mayo, and cheese. So, and a Coca-Cola Zero. You know how I love mysteries. In particular, unsolved mysteries. And I have my other phone here to look at because I don't have a good memory with little details. So, it's a case of Brandon Swanson. He was 19 and he was from Marshall, Minnesota. And on May 14th, 2008, just after midnight, he drove his car into a ditch